Claire from createdtheottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up here in the UK. Thank you for joining me. I've got a really fun fold for you today. A nice easy card that looks quite complicated. It's called a Trifold card because it's got 3 folds. 1, 2, 3. But you can jazz it up or dress it down as much as you want. It's perfect for any occasion. I really like fun folds. When you open the envelope and you have a bit of a wow, it looks like you've made a real effort. And if you're making a homemade card for somebody with lots of love in it, why wouldn't you make that extra effort? So this one I made with a masculine theme, and today I thought we'd do a real girly theme. I'm not usually a pink girl, but we're going to go all out with pink. I think we use some Blushing Bride, just because it's pink. And also I haven't had a chance to play with my Snailed It set from the mini catalogue, the seasonal one. So I thought we'd give that a go as well. There's not much stamping in this. It's more about the making of the card. Let's have a look at the designer series paper. Again, I've only just peeked at it and not opened it. Now I'm looking for something that's really going to make my pink card stand out. What I've done is actually look on the back of the pack, and it tells you what papers will match or coordinate without you having to do any more thought than that. So with this one, it's Basic Grey, Bermuda Bay, Blushing Bride, Daffodil Delight, Real Red and Basic White. But obviously I don't want a white card, I want to go pink. So let's have a look at the papers and see which one we think will make that pink into a bit of a wow card. So that's quite nice. It's got lots of pink on it, but it's quite a big design. And I know from my original make that you see it in panels, so like there. So I'm going to go for quite a small print so that it really does stand out. The other side of the papers are equally beautiful. I quite like that one. That's going to really pop against that Blushing Bride, isn't it? You can see already. So that's a definite maybe. That again, the print is too big, I think, for this type of card. And again with that one, that's quite nice. The yellow does make the pink pop, but does it make it pop more than the Bermuda Bay? Still going for the Bermuda Bay, I think. Oh, there's that one with the toadstools. That's quite nice. But again, I don't think it makes the Blushing Bride stand out as much as this one. Now, it is a big 12 by 12 sheet, and we are using such a small amount. There'll be loads left over. But that's what I'm going to go for. Blushing Bride with this lovely DSP to match. So where do we start? We start with our base card. Not many measurements, but let's start with that. Just get my scorer. So in the UK I'm using an A4 sheet of card, which is already 11 3/4. So I'm just going to cut off on the short side at 5 7/8. I'll just do that now. 5 7/8, that gives me that piece there. And 5 7/8 by 11 3/4 is already done. So now I'm just going to do the scoring. So the scoring sounds tricky because we're using 15 16ths and sizes like that, but I'll help you with that as we go along. So the first score line, there's just a few, is at 3 15 16ths. Now that's really tricky. It's a lot of counting, a lot of trying to find out where it is. So 15 16ths is just one line less than 4 inches. So let's do it there. So we take the paper up to 4 inches and then we move it back one line on the inch mark. And that makes it 3 15 16ths. The other thing you need to do is move your scorer blade out of the way. Too many times have I cut when I meant to score, and almost cursed. So after 3 and 15/16, the next one is 5 and 7/8. That's not so tricky to work out. So 5 and 7/8. Then you are going to 7 and 13/16. Have I actually recording? Yeah. For one horrid moment then, I thought I wasn't actually recording. You know when you get that heart-stopping moment? 7 and 13/16. So again, I would go to 8 inches and then move your paper back 3 little lines on the inches. I will hold it up to the camera in a minute so that you can see. So that's 7 and 13/16. So if I just show you that there, can you see that? So I've moved it up to the 8 inches and then I've moved it back 3 little lines there and just scored. And then the last one is 9 and 13/16. So again, I've gone up to 10 inches because that's a bit easier for my eyesight. And then I've moved it back 3 little lines. Okay, and that is all you need to do so far. Let's put that arm in and we'll just go through those measurements again. So on your long 11 and 3/4 side, you're scoring at 3 and 15/16, 5 and 7/8, 7 and 13/16, and 9 and 13/16. And that should give you one big panel and then 4 panels that are the same size. Now, 2 score lines in, not the first one but the second one, fold it backwards, and what you're going to do is you're going to do a cut line to the next score line. Can you see that? At 1.5 inches. So place your card at 1.5 inches. Bring your cutter up, and there's a little line on the side there, and that, if you measure that, get that in place with your score line, and then just cut up, okay? And that gives you that panel there. Then I'm going to flip it over and do it on the other end, exactly the same, 1.5. So I'm get that score line there. And I just do that on that side, and that's the same, 1.5, 1.5, and it should give you these 2 flappy bits. Now I can see that I haven't quite gone to the score line there, so I'm just going to do that now and just help it. And just check that this has gone all the way back to the score line. Okay, and move that out the way. And then I'll show you. So here we've got our base card. So what happens is, burnish that piece over there, and then this piece, the second fold comes back. Let me do it and then I'll show you. So push these 2 back with your hands, but don't push this one back because you want this one to go forward. So like that, like that. Okay, and then just push those down flat. And if you've got a bone folder, just press it all down so that you get nice, solid creases. And then your card should be like that. Okay, so when you fold it, push it down flat, it goes like that, and when it stands up, it's like that. So hopefully you can see that. Now let's decorate these panels. So on my original one, this one I just did plain white. Okay, so I'm going to cut them and line them up and then decide what stamping I'm doing. So for this panel here, let's have a look. It was 5 3/4 by 3 15/16. So 5 3/4 is an easy one to do. So let's do that first. 5 3/4. Okay. By 3 13/16. So do you remember what we did? We went up to the 4 and then counted back 3 lines. So let's have a look what that looks like on there. So that's going to be there. Okay, and that just gives you a nice little border all the way around. These 2 bits here are also going to be stamped. So these 2 panels need to be white, and they're 2 3/4 by 1 7/8. So let's do those. 2 3/4 by 1 7/8. So again, let's have a look. Just going to check. Yep, that one goes there. And 1 7/8. That one goes there. Okay, so that's those 2. Now we get to this lovely DSP. So, what size is the DSP? So you want 2 panels here that are exactly the same, and they are 1 3/4. So let's just cut these strips off. So they're 1 3/4. Yep, that's looking good. By 5 3/4. So one is going to go there, and then the other one's the other side. By 5 3/4. That's going to go there. Perfect. So these 2 bits, just tiny little bits, they are 1 3/4 by 1 3/8. So I'm going to cut a whole strip because I need to make sure that my paper is the right way round. Sorry, it's not on screen, is it, for you to see? Let me show you what I've done. Let's move that over. So that's 1 3/4 again, but this time I only need 1 3/8. But I actually need 4 of these. So 1 and 1 2 3/8, and then 1 3/8, 1 3/8. It just makes your life easier doing the whole panel in 1 3/4. And then you've got these little bits that can go on. Okay. Oh, I feel like, oh, well, they're not going to match, are they? Because they're underneath each other. What for a minute then? I'll try and match them. Okay. So that's where it's going to go. Looking good, I think. So now I just need to decorate these 3 panels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the DSP on because I'm already happy with that. I haven't got to do anything else with that, just a bit of glue on there. And I'm using Tombow because it gives me a bit of wiggle room. Okay. I'm just doing it by eye because I'm just making sure there's a pink border all the way around. Okay, and again the same this side. This is rather fun paper. It's quite retro, I think, as well. Let's do that side. Okay, now these 2 little bits down the bottom. Really like the colours together, the Blushing Bride and the Bermuda Bay. Not really usually a colour that I would put together, but it goes really well. What do you think? And that goes there. And then these two. Okay, that one. Just move those out of the way for a minute, I think. That one goes there in that panel. That one goes there. Now I'm going to stamp what I want stamped on these panels, but I'm not going to colour them in because that's just boring for you to watch. So let's decide what we want on these two panels. So in my snailed it set, you've got the toadstools, you've got a bigger snail, you've got mail, happy mail enclosed. I think maybe this hello one at the front and then this one on the inside, or let's give it a go. So I'm going to do mine in Memento ink. Is it going to fit though? Ooh, we didn't think about that, did we? Let's have a look. It might. It depends how clever I am at getting the image on. Let's hope. Remember, card has two sides, so you don't need to worry. And let's see if I can get that on straight as well. Okay, I'm going to go more towards the bottom. As long as I get most of the toadstool on, I'll be happy. Look at that. That's like almost perfect, even if I do say so myself. So that's going to go there. Okay. Now, it looks to me really harsh at the moment, the black against all this bright colours. But as soon as that's coloured in, it will take on a different look. So is this snail going to fit on as well? Let's have a look. Let's give her a go. I feel like it's a girl. Please fit on. Okay. Let's have a look. So let's see if we can get this on straight-ish. And again, I've gone more towards the bottom because I want to put that little hello on. Now this is a ridiculously big block for hello, but let's give it a go. Yay! So hello is there as well, and that's going to go on there. Okay, brilliant. Should we stick those? Let's stick them because I can colour afterwards. I just want to sort of show you what it all looks like finished. And this one on this side. Oh. And then the big one we need to decide as well. Now obviously there's not much sentiments going on in this set, and I do want this to be a birthday card. So, and the other thing that I want to do is make sure that when that folds over, the sentiment is hidden behind. That doesn't mean I couldn't do some toadstools or something, some decoration around the side. I just want it to look like that is where the sentiment should be. So I've got this sentiment set that I tend to use quite a lot called Peaceful Moments. I really like this one. These are the moments we look back on with joy. But I'm thinking I might add the happy birthday into that, or wishing you every happiness the special day will bring. Let's have a look. So if I did, because that block is sort of the size of that, so if both of them fit on the block at the same time, these are the moments. Oh, that's got a bit of something on it. And what was it? Happy birthday. Ooh, is that going to fit though? Oh, it might just. Let's be a bit clever with that. Now, I'm going to leave them both on there together, but what I'm going to do is practice stamping. So let's see what they actually look like together. You've got your grid paper, you might as well use it. Let's have a look. Oh, actually that looks all right together. So now I need to try and make sure that I'm getting it here. I actually like that. Happy birthday. It's because the fonts are the same. They mix together really well. Just make sure I've got enough ink on there. And I'm going to go about there. I wiggled that, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's smudge. That's why we all have a Stamparatus. That's all right. I'm quite liking that. So then that will go over there and it hides my sentiment. Now I feel like I need a toadstool or two. This little snail, if I just did him without the mail, would he fit down the bottom? Let's have a look. So if that was there, would he? Oh, do you know what? He might just. Shall we give it a go? Except for I haven't brought any post-it notes through. Let's have a look. Let's see what we can, see if we can work some magic. So, I don't want the words. So if I cover the words up with just a bit of card at the minute, because my post-it notes are in my room. Improvise. That's what all us crafters do. Okay. Let's see. Is he going to fit there? I quite like him. What do you think? Okay, let's. I still haven't stuck it down because I'm not 100% certain I love it. Yeah. I like him there. Right, let's glue him before we change our mind. Or, what normally happens is, I just keep adding things. I do think he needs a bit of embellishment somewhere. But other than that, apart from my colouring, I think I'm happy with it. So, here is my card. It's ready to be made wow, with some lovely bright colours. I'll also hide those little lines with some embellishments. And that's my card done. My Trifold Fun Fold. So that's one we've made today. And this was the version I made earlier. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please give it a go and let me know how you get on. Bye.